They come off of 4 side by side. Even Steven as they go down into turn number 1. Neal making a move to make it 3 wide, almost 4 wide with this. They'll stack up 2 by 2, 2 rows deep with Van Genderen rounding out your top 5. Crafton working down low. Richards upstairs with this in tow in that yellow car. Here comes Neal in the gray car. That's the 12 machine. Score him 3rd with 1 lap in. Crafton still working the bottom line. He has the advantage going through the middle of the corner, but the high side momentum for Richards will pay off. Now Viss working to the high line. He'll duck down low. Jumps right on the back bumper of Crafton, working through turns 3 and 4. Neal goes upstairs on this run. Van Genderen almost able to get on by in that 57 VG. Richards working in that 11 machine up on the high side. Now Viss going to try to go upstairs as well. Now that'll force Neal to go down low. Brakes hard to keep out of Crafton's left rear. Great job. Richards still at the lead. Now it is Viss. Close, but it looked like he was in the 2nd spot. Trying to crowd Crafton down on the bottom line. Gage Neal upstairs in the 12 machine. He'll go to the outside of Crafton. Viss now able to be free and clear in that 2nd spot. Neal, here comes a battle, maybe 3 wide for a moment as Reynolds tries to get into the mix. Reynolds in the 1 machine right on the back bumper of that 12 and of Neal. Neal to the 3rd spot. Thought about diving down low underneath Viss. He'll back off of that. All the while, Richards leading lap 5 going into the books this time by Viss in 2nd, Neal, Reynolds, and Crafton rounding out your top 5. Viss looking pretty strong on the bottom. Maybe the high side starting to wear out. As soon as I say that, Neal makes up a lot of ground as they go down in backstretch into turn 3. Off at turn 4, still working that high line. Not many up there, so if there's any dust, it's on him to clean it off through turns 3 and 4. Now Viss retires from the bottom line, at least through turns 1 and 2. He'll go upstairs, and Richards still the leader, working about 3 car widths off the bottom. Viss in about the same tire tracks. Neal will go upstairs. Now we're battling for the 4th spot. Caden Reynolds in the 1 machine. He'll dive down low underneath that 89 machine of Crafton. Back behind him is Van Genderen. Vanius in that 357 trying to make something happen and close in. Car spinning in turn 1. We'll go yellow. Reynolds over into turn number 3. A little bit later on that restart this time. Drive down through the moisture, gets a good run. Viss gets a good run as well. We'll see how it all plays out as they work their way down through turns 1 and 2. Neal going to get a great run. So is Reynolds as those two 2 for 1 loss there for the 20 of Viss. Reynolds upstairs. Neal, interesting, has gone down to the low line. As Reynolds and Viss, they're side by side for the 3rd spot. It's Vanius in that orange and blue 357 to the inside of Crafton. And then it's Hansen to the outside of Van Genderen as they go 2 by 2 for the, well, it looks like 3rd through 9th right now. Reynolds upstairs, not completely all the way to the top spot. He'll make his way into the 3rd spot. Viss, he goes upstairs. Your top 4 starting to break away as they're side by side. Hansen in the 4R machine. Thought about making it 3 wide. He thinks better of it. As we come to the halfway point at the start-finish line, it looks like Gage Neal starting to mount an attack on our leader down into turn number 1. Got a car facing the wrong way through turns 3 and 4. The yellow is out. I believe they should be happy with that restart. Reynolds very happy with that restart as he'll be 2nd when they cross the line. Trying to nose up in front there. He'll feel the outside of the 12N. 12N able to get on by. Neal rolls into that 2nd spot. Reynolds goes upstairs. Vanius goes upstairs as well. Viss trying to make the bottom work. Richards still making the bottom work as he continues to lead. Everybody upstairs through turns 1 and 2 through the top 5. Hansen, the first car, breaking out of line. He's the 6th place car. Working their way through turns 3 and 4. The leader of Richards still on the bottom line, but Reynolds has some company up there to help dust it off. And we'll see whether or not that high side momentum will start paying off. Richards bangs the cush a little bit. Neal a little bit harder. Reynolds is going to break out of line. He's going to drive down on the low side through turns 3 and 4 in that number 1 machine. Gage Neal, though, with the momentum, powers back around. Neal going to work down on the bottom through turns 1 and 2. Vanius in the 4th spot starting to lose a little bit of the battle for that top 3. Reynolds all over the back bumper of Gage Neal. Those guys face each other a lot throughout the entire season here in the Midwest. Richards starting to lose his advantage. Right all over the back bumper. Yellow is out because of a car low of turn 4. Vanyas and Vis right now the rest of the top 5 as the green returns to the Speedway. Reynolds able to get a good restart off that bottom. He'll slide right up in front of Neil. Vanyas in the orange 357 dives down low underneath the 20 of Vis. Vis able to power around in that yellow 20. Here comes Matt Grafton to the outside. Here comes the 1 of Reynolds looking for a battle for the lead off of turn number 4. He'll slide right on in on that back bumper of the 11 machine. Top 4, top 5 to the high side. 3 wide back behind him. Almost 4 wide now for the 5th spot. Gage Neal breaks out of line. We might have 3 cars trying to get to the number 1 spot off of turn number 4. Reynolds to the outside. He'll take over the lead. Richards back to 3rd. Neal in 4th. He got a bit of a love tap, but he slid right in front of the 20 of Vis. Reynolds able to get some breathing room as Richards to the outside. Neal goes back down low, working through turns 3 and 4. Vis to the outside in that 20 machine. Gets a run. He'll be to the outside of Neal. Neal gives up working that bottom line. He'll fall into the 4th spot. 3rd right now is the 20. 2nd is Richards. Up front, it is Reynolds leading the way. Neal will break out of line down in turns 3 and 4. Gonna see if he can make something happen down there. Maybe lost a car length or 2. Everybody upstairs. This all over the back bumper of that 2nd place car, the 11 of Richards. Down into turn number 3. Now the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th stacking each other up with the white flag. 1 to go. 1 to go. Yellow is out. 9:27 of ball coming to a stop in an unsafe position on the backstretch. Green comes back out with Richards to the outside. Neal's going to make it 3 wide there for 2nd for a moment. Reynolds with a great restart. Gets a good run. Richards is going to try to move around to the outside of the 20 of Vis. Vis is going to try to get upstairs. He does so. That'll force the Neal machine low. He thought better of it. Going to try about a car width down low as the white comes out. One more time around. Reynolds, once he got up front, has been on a rail. Keeping it on the tracks. One more set of corners. Off of turn number 4 to be Caden Reynolds that'll take the win here at the Fall Madness at the Independent Speedway. Night 2, followed by Richards, Vis, Neal, and Vanyas.